Become unstoppable. Developing emotional preparedness. It doesn't matter how much work we know needs to get done if we aren't into it emotionally. One of the problems with time management and self-improvement is that we create all these terms like optimization and batching and measuring and timing, like a bunch of scientists gathered around a machine looking for ways to perfect it. But we have unique histories, backgrounds, and challenges, and we can't perform at our best all the time. In fact, there are times when we don't feel like doing anything at all. If you have depression, insomnia, obesity, problems in your relationships in the workplace and at home, or other serious issues, pushing them to the side can be easier said than done. I can't tell you without a doubt that you'll feel better by repeating affirmations or mantras, and any instant self-healing method will be flawed by necessity because of the person that is putting it into action. But you don't have to clap your hands together and demand that your emotions change in an instant either. See, human beings aren't machines. Our emotions come in many subtle varieties, so conscious effort might not bring you from the pits of despair to the heights of empowerment and gratitude, but we can take small steps. Think of the worst emotion you can feel. Mourning, depression, powerlessness, fear. You can't wipe those emotions away instantly, but you can ask yourself to feel a little better. Distance yourself from personal anger. Your next step should be to slowly distance yourself from personal anger against others. It's not helpful to be enraged, but once you're finished being upset, you usually calm down and take a more distant appraisal of your situation. These feelings aren't always good either, but again, we're improving things. See how simple it is to transform hopelessness into mere disappointment? Revving yourself up. It's hard to be optimistic about your future when you're in a place of extreme depression. But when you're musing about your future with a neutral state of mind, it's easier to allow positive thoughts for the future to creep in. Allow yourself to trust in your skills, to trust the people around you, to set new habits and believe that tomorrow will be better than yesterday. When you're trying to escape from a neutral frame of mind, you'll find that you're more receptive to positive stories and uplifting messages. And once you imagine that better future, it's much easier to expect it, to demand it, to be so excited about it that you motivate yourself towards taking unstoppable positive action. So next time you feel down, don't try and leap for the top. Just reach for the next rung. Let your emotions happen. Don't feel like you have to rush yourself to the next level of emotions. That would be a psychological game, a way of fooling yourself into taking that big leap. And it's not what you're after. Never feel guilty about your emotions. Give yourself time to feel what you feel instead of bottling it in. Forgive yourself and then let it fade. Feeling like it all the time. Have you ever known that you needed to do something important and felt a little sluggish? No matter what your plans are, it's going to be tough to execute them when you're feeling sleepy, anxious, or otherwise below your peak. If your joints are hurting you, if you're having mood swings, if you have serious problems concentrating on work for more than 10 minutes before you get distracted by your email or a sudden urge to watch something on Netflix, then it's time to take a look at your body and motivation. The quickest way to improve your mood long-term is to get in better shape, and the quickest way to improve your mood short-term is to get in better shape. Think about the food that you're taking in. Your thoughts, willpower, and ability to succeed are deeply impacted by what you eat. If you're an entrepreneur, your brain and body are your most important tools, and they need the right kind of food to do well. Remember when we talked about how few people act on good advice? We get plenty of health and nutritional advice all the time from every direction. Even McDonald's and Burger King will tell you exactly what's in their food. But the more the public knows about nutrition, the more we studiously avoid the facts. Almost 3/4 of the U.S. is on the path towards being medically overweight. The numbers of people looking to pharmaceutical relief for depression and addictions is at an all-time high, and our energy levels are at an all-time low. So regardless of what you know about food, ask yourself, have you put that knowledge into action? Marketers can be especially challenged when it comes to getting in shape. So many of us are doing all the critical tasks ourselves and are always using computers, cell phones, and TVs. Lots of time behind the desk and less time at the gym. Positive emotion comes from positive motion, and the more you move, the more energy you have to move. If you can spend even 15 to 20 minutes a day working out, you'll get a faster start to your mornings, better rest at night, feel less anxious and more focused when you are at your desk, and have a much higher overall energy level. Give yourself 3 15s. Starting today, resolve to give yourself 3 15s. Spend 15 minutes on a light jog every morning as soon as you wake up. Breathe steadily and focus on being grateful for the skills you have individually, the support you have from friends, family, and associates, and the plan you have long-term. Visualize your success and think about your daily plan for achieving it. When you get inside, do 15 crunches. The lower abdominals are the weakest muscles in your torso because they are rarely worked, and they're the first to sag after childbirth and menopause. Finally, do 15 push-ups. It shouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes. This isn't designed to be the most powerful and effective workout in the world, or give you a shredded body. It's designed to wake up the major muscle groups and get you on the path towards a great day before breakfast. You'll have already accomplished something out of the norm. You don't have to hew to this exactly. If you pick up any exercise book, there will be a rich inventory of exercises you can perform while on the go. Refer to it for correct form and posture if you want to, but remember that it's most important for you to take steady action. Let's talk about diet. Your energy level isn't limited to just working out. If you can change your eating habits, you can change your overall energy level. Notice that I didn't just say diet. Even if you can't afford to eat free-range everything, you can set great habits regardless of your budget. So what does our brain need to keep our thoughts clear and planning our successful futures? Protein. Lean protein helps your body build and repair the insides. It makes you stronger, crushes hunger, and keeps you focused. The best sort of protein to eat is lean protein. To build your brain power, eat the following. Fish, eggs, beans, and dairy products are all key. Some nuts, such as walnuts and Brazil nuts, aren't bad because they've got a mix of protein and healthy fat, but you shouldn't scarf them down by the bowl. A handful or two is plenty. Complex carbohydrates. We're not talking about processed breads. In fact, you'll feel a lot fresher if you stay away from breads altogether, or at least cut your intake drastically. You'll find plenty of fiber and antioxidants in spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and other vegetables. And even better, your body burns more energy digesting these foods and getting to the nutrients inside them. Fats. As I touched on earlier, a little fat isn't bad for you. It creates the hormones you need to focus. Look for foods that are high in omega-3 and omega-6. Pick up some almond butter, a healthy, delicious, and expensive alternative to peanut butter, avocados, and olive oil. A note on coffee. Good news, coffee junkies. A whole lot of what you've been hearing about your drug of choice is a total myth. It's not true that coffee dehydrates you. Your body retains roughly the same amount of water from a cup of coffee as it does from a cup of water. It doesn't stunt your growth, give you ulcers, or cause cancer. In fact, coffee has great antibiotic properties and is, on the whole, pretty good for you. But very few of us drink coffee as is. If you're drowning your coffee in sugar, whipped cream, chocolate, sprinkles, and all the rest, you're doing yourself a disservice. You shouldn't treat coffee like a hot milkshake. Try and dial down the amount of stuff you add to your coffee. If you decide to cut down on your coffee intake, do it slowly instead of going cold turkey, unless you have time for a 3-day migraine that will leave you feeling pretty wiped out, grumpy, and basically horrendous to live or work with. Think small and regular. Instead of piling all your food into one meal, look at eating every 4 or 5 hours and going heavy on fish, nuts, and green vegetables. What our bodies can't use right away, it stores. So if you just eat 1 or 2 big meals, it's likely that they'll go right to your hips. Keep things light and give yourself a steady supply of positive energy.